Hey there, and welcome back to Bed to Harvest, where I'm growing veggies in my raised bed, learning as I go, and sharing the wins, the fails, and everything in between. So much has been happening since I last had a garden update. So my seedlings, they aren't seedlings anymore, guys. Okay, they have been booming with growth, and I am ready to talk about all that has been happening since the last update. Okay, so let's get started. First and foremost, I finally got to around to basically labeling all of my plants. Yay me. Yeah. And also this is what they've been looking like. If you go to the clip that I just showed at the beginning of the video, the seedlings look completely different. And this is on the April the 13th, and the clip from earlier was on March the 31st. Look at that growth. Everything's looking green and luscious and just doing great. So that's what was happening. And also during this time, I noticed that my tomatoes weren't growing as much as I think they were supposed to be growing. And so I decided that, you know what, I'm going to put my big girl panties on and I'm going to up pot these things. I was not going to lie, I was kind of scared of thinking about up potting, but because new to this, but I got some courage and I decided to up pot them all on my own. I did a little bit of research and I learned that if you're going to up pot, you want to make sure that the diameter and the depth of the container that you're up potting in is twice the size as the container that you're removing the seedling from. And so I just wanted to make sure before I use these cups that they met that standard, and they did. So that was great. And in addition to that, I wanted to, customize them a little bit. So I actually tried to incorporate some air pruning into the pots. So if you are not familiar with air pruning, here is basically a quick explanation of what it is. It's basically a method where you put basically slits or holes within your cups to expose the roots of your seedlings to air. So whenever those roots become in contact with the air, it basically the roots basically dry and they stop growing in that direction. So why would you do this? You would do this to encourage the plants to produce new roots instead of basically going in that direction. So what it basically does is that it prevents the circling of roots at the pot, the bottom of the pot, which can contribute to your seedling becoming root bound, and you don't want that. This method would help to prevent root bound plants, and it also helps to promote healthier, stronger root systems. So that's why I decided to add hose on the sides. And I also made sure I added a big drainage hole at the bottom as well, for obviously for drainage. And also another reason for that is that it would be easier to remove the seedlings when it's time to transplant them. On another note, when I pulled the seedlings out to basically, move them to get them ready for the pot, I was so happy. Why? Because like I had white roots, you guys, white roots as a beginner. So I'm basically doing something right. I didn't have any dark spots, no signs of rotting. They look healthy. Now, my only note that I would make to myself, and maybe you would want to make this adjustment as well, is I would not recommend planting two tomato seeds per one little hole the next time. I honestly think that these tomato seedlings could have been bigger and healthier and larger at this stage if they were in their own little container slot. So I don't think I'm gonna do that next year. And the reason why I think that is because I think they were competing with each other. I found that it was very difficult to remove the seedlings from each other. Their roots were kind of intertangled. So if their roots are intertangled, then I'm pretty sure they're probably were competing for, space and also whatever nutrients I was giving them. So I'm definitely excited to see what that will look like next year if I don't do that. I just honestly feel like it would make a big difference, especially after I've seen the progress that these seedlings have made since I've uppotted them into their own little containers and now they have their own little space. So I also made my own potting mix too. So I did a combination of 25% worm castings and 75% topsoil. So this is what you're seeing here. I'm trying to now. the mix does not have its own nutrition component in it, so that explains the fertilization. In the future, I want to incorporate some type of homemade compost or leaf mold to add to the mix. But composting takes a while, and I'm currently working on creating my first batch. If you have not watched my compost video, check that out. You can see some of the mistakes I have currently made, but that is a story for another way. By the way, I'm also running another DIY seedling experiment too. I'm testing it on sunflowers. So if you haven't watched that video either, give it a look as well. I'm not really a fan of commercial mixes. I think we can honestly find something that works better and is more sustainable. So that explains why I'm testing out my own little potting mix and seedling mix and not using like the store brand ones. So after planting, up potting the tomatoes, I mean, I was already in the zone. So I said, you know what? I might as well just up pot these cucumbers because they look like they are busting out of these seedling pots anyway. So I just decided to up pot them too. And it was pretty cool. The cucumbers were actually easier to pot up because their root system were so much developed, even though the cucumbers were literally just started, I think, about 2 weeks ago, at the time of the video when compared to tomatoes because cucumbers grow so quickly. Okay, so fast forward to April 20th, which is about, last Sunday at the time of me recording this video, and you can see how things are looking in the garden. Well, indoor seating, you know what I'm saying. So basically, look, the cucumbers and the tomatoes are actually thriving. They're doing really well. The potting mix seems to be working, so that's a good sign. And the lettuce and the collards are thriving too when compared to where they were on March the 31st. So things are doing really well. I'm really happy about with how things are going, and I'm so excited for what is to come in the future with everything. So next up with gardening plans is basically sugar snap peas. Now this is the second to last summer crop that I will be planting. After that is going to be basil to plant near the tomatoes for the summer garden. It's crazy how you go from planting and planting your spring crops to quickly already planting your summer garden crops and also getting things ready for your summer garden. I mean, it's probably because summer crops take so long, so the timing is, everything. I'm just I'm just really excited about how things are going. Right now I'm still tweaking the layout for the summer garden, but I'm still working on it some more, so I will keep you updated on that. You know what they say, plan to succeed, not plan to fail. It's just crazy to see how things have come in just a few weeks. There's so much more to grow. I'm excited to keep experimenting, learning, and sharing everything with you as the season unfolds. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe because it's more than just a channel. It is a movement. It's a movement to learn to grow nutritious food for you and your family so you can save on groceries and eat healthier. We all have to start somewhere. It's okay if you are a beginner. You just need to start. So see you in the next video. And also thank you in advance for subscribing to the channel.